So I've reached the first of my big weight goals. I have lost 30 pounds and I've done it in about a month and 8 days. I have a couple of apps that help me track my weight loss on my phone, and I haven't even done the calculations as to how much weight loss that is, but on average I think it's pretty close to a pound a day, which is not what I actually lost. I lost more some days, and then there was the whole gaining 4 pounds thing when I initially lost weight. So I've decided that for my big weight loss goals, I'm going to get myself something, do something to celebrate, obviously not food related. So for 30 pounds, I was originally going to get myself a Kinect, but it turns out that we do not have a functioning Xbox despite having 2 of them in the house. So I will not be getting a Kinect. So instead, my treat for myself is going to be to buy Just Dance 4, which I oddly enough do not own, even though I own all the rest of them, for my Wii. And then I'm going to spend the difference between Just Dance 4 and a Kinect at Sephora. I'm going to go on a little bitty Sephora shopping spree. So the reason that 30 pounds was kind of a goal for me was actually that my weight at 30 pounds lighter than I was when I had the surgery is actually what I weighed at my wedding. I've weighed less since my wedding, but on my wedding day, I weighed what I weigh right now. Obviously, I didn't feel skinny, but I also didn't feel like a blubbering land whale at my wedding, so I should center myself better. Always my issue, because I need a gesture. But obviously, I felt beautiful and wonderful, as you should on your wedding day, no matter what you weigh. So that makes me very happy to be at the weight I was on my wedding day. But yay, 30 pounds, that's amazing. So I wanted to talk to you guys a bit today about the accessories that I have for my day-to-day life to facilitate making this all easier. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about, and this is something, I did a lot of research before the surgery because I'm very paranoid about loose skin, about feeling flopsy and stuff like that. I'm 31 years old, so I feel like I still have a bit of the elastin in my skin. I'm not totally run dry on elastin, but I don't want to look old before my time. So I researched, and the big thing obviously is exercise, which I will be going back to kickboxing this week. Yeah, I used to do that at the end of high school, and I really loved it. And there's a kickboxing studio that meets my exacting standards next town over in Hoboken, so I'll be doing that. But this, which is, I'm not sure if it's in focus, but this is the Philosophy Amazing Grace Body Firming Emulsion, which is very highly recommended, often the #1 firming product that's recommended. It has kind of a strong, maybe baby powderish scent, I'm not really sure, but I do like it. I don't know how well it's firming, but I'm kind of using it as my little coin in the wishing well sort of thing. It's a bit expensive, but this is a giant bottle. This is 16 fluid ounces, which is about what I eat in a day. And it is, I believe, about $42. I think you can get maybe a little bit cheaper on Amazon. I'll put links to everything that you can get on Amazon below. But it's just a nice moisturizer too, which I should be using at this time of year. Another big thing, which was recommended to me by my best friend Emily, and I didn't quite get it when she first linked it to me, are these Stay Fit snackable stackers. I was like, oh, that's cute. They snap together and you can stack them. That's great. But then once I really looked into them, first of all, they come in 3 different sizes. I don't use the little one all that much. But the big thing about them is they are what's called Easy Freeze. So this one actually is gel lined. I think it's meant for a yogurt, but it's gel lined, so you pop this in the freezer overnight, and then it's a big block of ice. In fact, if I throw watermelon in here, it'll actually freeze a little bit. So it keeps very, very cold. And then this one, actually the lid is freezer keepable. So this one has some gel in it, and you pop that in the freezer. So these keep your food cold. I use these in conjunction with my lunch pail, it's not a pail, but I call it a lunch pail. There's something like this, which is insulated. I think I got it as swag from one of the events that I went to once for work. Yeah, it's got a little drink holder. And then this, because this is insulated, when I put those two things in there, it actually cools the entire bag. So even if I can't pop this in the fridge right away, wherever I'm working, I can keep my food cold. And it does a very good job of that, so I'm very grateful to Emily for mentioning those. Another big thing, literally big, this is my pill minder. And I'm not on any prescription medications at the moment, other than I have a prescription for migraine, which I carry in my purse, and have not needed since I had the surgery, side note. This is actually just for vitamins. So it's got an AM and a PM side, and it's a 7-day pill minder. So I take a lot of vitamins. So I take 2 Centrum Chewables a day, and once this bottle is gone, I'm actually going to go over to the iron supplement, the Centrum Chewables with iron. They recommended that I do that, especially for women. It's important to get your iron. I also take 2 calcium supplements a day. This is actually also not the right supplement. I just bought what they had at the local drugstore 2 days after my surgery or whatever. This is calcium carbonate. I'm supposed to be taking calcium citrate. I have to be honest, even as a food scientist, I'm not entirely sure why. Probably has to do with bioabsorption and all that stuff. But this is, let's see, 600 milligrams of calcium plus vitamin D. And it's 400 international units of vitamin D. Now that is not enough for me. I have been historically low on vitamin D, especially in the winter. You get vitamin D, the majority of your vitamin D from the sun. Living in Minnesota for 5 years, I became very, very low on my vitamin D. So I also have, all of these vitamins have been chewable thus far, by the way. This is my chewable vitamin D3. So this is 1,000 international units. One of these tiny little pills is 1,000 units. They don't go with grams, they just, it's a different unit of measurement. And these are so tiny they go flying and I don't even hear them hit the ground. So this is one tiny little vitamin D pill. So I actually take between 5 and 7 of those a day, because that works out to what I was told was a maintenance dose when I was really low on vitamin D, which is about 50,000 units a week. So that is my target, to get about 50,000 units a week, which would be about 7 of these a day. And then the last vitamin that I take is my vitamin B12 sublingual, which is, again, tiny little tablet. You put it under your tongue and it dissolves. And then you let it sit for a little while so that some of it gets absorbed directly under your tongue. But the rest of it, actually I'm going to take one of these. I should remember to take this later today. You take this under your tongue and then you can just swallow the resulting liquid. So I take 2 of each of these a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, all staggered, so I take 4 different pills. I typically take this in the morning because it can keep you a little bit awake. So I typically take this with my first Centrum Chewable multivitamin. And then this I tend to take in the afternoon. It kind of helps me if I'm feeling a little bit sluggish too. Vitamin D can give you a little bit of an energy kick, so that's what I use these for. I used to use gummy vitamin D before this, but they're pretty high calorie, and so I've been avoiding them. In terms of other accessories, this isn't really an accessory, but it is because I carry it everywhere with me. This is my J-Rob chocolate flavored whey protein. It advertises itself as the best tasting protein on the planet. I've tried a fair number of proteins, and I gotta be honest, this closet beep, we still haven't figured that out. I thought I'd time this video so it wouldn't hit the closet beep, but obviously I'm running a bit long. So this is the J-Rob chocolate flavored whey protein. I use it because it has stevia rather than sucralose in it, and it really is a very good tasting protein. It fits the bill for amount of sugar versus amount of calories versus amount of protein. A full scoop of this is 25 grams of protein and 110 calories with 0 grams of sugar. So that's very good. I've never been able to take a full scoop. I typically do a half scoop in my coffee. And you can pretend it's mocha. It doesn't taste bad. So I'm getting about 55 calories from this stuff and 12.5 grams of protein. So that's that is not a bad amount of protein for a coffee beverage. I really, really like it. So that is my whey protein. And then in terms of the coffee, these are, oh shoot, I can't remember the brand name of these. Maybe it says it on the inside. You'd think they'd want to, like, brand, oh, it is a Tervis, Tervis, Tervis cup. This one actually is not mine, this one is my husband's. My mother-in-law gave us both these for Christmas, and I've got one that's pretty with Japanese blossoms on it and has a brown lid. It's very pretty. This one is my husband's because he's a big Giants fan, which sadly they are not in the Super Bowl, so they're not so sad for me because I have to watch less football when the Giants are not in the playoffs. But this is just a very nice little coffee cup. Keeps you, doesn't make your hand too hot, keeps the heat in, but doesn't make it so that your coffee is scalding for the entire time you're drinking your coffee. I really, really like these, and I've been very, very happy with this product. Very spill-proof too. It's got a nice little lid. If it's closed, it's not going to leak. I really like that about this because I travel with my coffee cup a lot, and that makes things a lot easier. And the last accessory that I have I've actually brought up before, but I carry one of these with me everywhere now. I've been in a lot of situations where I've kind of had to eat out. My boss works out of the California office and comes to the New York office about maybe 4 times a year, and then hopefully I'll make a habit of going out. I've only worked for the company for 1 year, but hopefully I'll make a habit of going out to California once a year, so I can go see her and her office and everything like that. But when she's in town, she really likes to go out to dinner. So I found myself a couple of times in a position where I kind of had to go out to dinner. And if I'm getting something, especially if I'm getting liquids, if I'm getting solids, if I'm getting like a chicken breast or something like that, there is no chance that I'm going to eat more than 4 ounces. I just am not at that stage yet. But this allows me to kind of just measure out what about 4 ounces would be. I don't have to eat out of it. I often will ask for a little plate. So I will measure out in here and flop it onto the little plate and eat off of the little plate. Then take the rest home and Alex gets to eat it. So that's been really, really helpful and helped me kind of keep an eye on stuff. I'm going to post a link. I'm going to post a picture actually of the dinner I had with my boss the other night because it was perfect. It was tuna tartare with chili sauce and a couple other things. I mean, obviously you'll see on the plate there's more than that, but it was just a fantastic, fantastic dinner. I only ate the tuna. I ate about 4 ounces of it. It was a ton of protein. It was delicious because it was very, very fresh tuna. We were very near the ocean. Very flavorful. Just a perfect meal for what I was looking for. I have to stop popping this thing because I'm fidgety right now. So I hope that you got some ideas. Again, I'll link all the stuff in Amazon down below. Stop clicking things, Madeline. Okay, I put it down now. So I hope everything's going great with you, and if you're having the surgery, if you had the surgery already, I wish you the best of luck. If you're having the surgery, it'll be fine, it'll be wonderful. It's a life-changing thing. Bye.